On this episode of Homestead Tessie, today we are going to be making blackberry pie filling. This recipe can be used for any berry, any apples, peaches, any fruit. It is a universal recipe and it is an amazing one, and it turns out 100% every time I make it. But today, since blackberries are in season, we're going to make blackberry pie filling. Well, good morning everyone and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making universal pie filling to can. Now, this is a recipe that you can use for all of your fruits. You can use it for apples and strawberries, all your berries. And it's amazing because it's just one recipe and you can use it for whatever fruit you want to make pie filling with. Now, this is something that I've come up with years ago and it is my favorite. Today we are having beautiful cooler weather. We've had a heat wave here in eastern Pennsylvania where the temperatures were in the 90s. But today it's so beautiful and cool that I decided it'd be a perfect day to can up some of this pie filling of the blackberries that were in my freezer. We are going to be using 4-jar canning lids. I'm sure all of you have heard about them now. They are extremely popular and I like their lids and they work amazing. These are 4-jar lids and their link is under every single video of mine because I do highly promote them. If I were you, I would stock up on them today because they are talking about some metal shortages coming by the end of the year. So let's get started into this amazing recipe. All right, it is so simple. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make the pie filling. When it's thick, then we will go ahead and add our fruit, and that is the blackberries today. The pie filling calls for 8 quarts of fruit, 7 cups of water, 6 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of lemon juice, and 2 1/4 cups of clear gel. Many people often ask me about the clear gel, and we are going to discuss that here. That way people understand. You don't want to use flour. You don't want to use cornstarch because all of those items will break down in your jar. In a matter of 3 months, your jar is going to look like an ooey gooey mess. But if you use modified cornstarch, which is clear gel, this is made for high canning and it will keep your food looking commercial fresh and it will be beautiful consistency. I only use this because it is amazing and it can last many years in the jars. People often ask me about canned food. They see on labels that it says that the lids are good for 18 months. They just say that. Canning lids, if kept in a cool, dark, dry place, will last on your jars for years. I'm eating some food that is 5 years old. The lids will be perfectly sealed if they're perfectly done correctly. So this is a water bath method. That means you don't have to pressure can. You don't have to have expensive canning equipment. How can you can without canning equipment? You take a large stock pot like this. You can either put canning rings on the bottom as a little platform, or you can take a tea towel, put on the bottom of your kettle, and then what you're going to do is fill it up with water, and then you're going to put your jars in it. And when the water starts boiling, then you count, and we are going to count 25 minutes. Let's go ahead and let's mix it all up, and then I will put it on the stove. I can probably can about 15 to 18 quarts of this pie filling within an hour. Let me show you how we do it. First thing we are going to do is we are going to get 7 cups of water and put it in here. Now I would double portion all of this, but I'm not sure if I will have enough of room. I'm going to see if I can try to double portion it. So let me put all the water in and then I'll show you what we do next. Alright, now we're going to add the sugar. I will try to have the full recipe under the video. So we have the water and the sugar in. And now I'm going to use my home canned lemon juice. This is lemon juice that was recanned, and we're going to add this. I did double the portion because I do have a large amount of blackberries. Basically, we're adding a pint. Right, so while that is heating up, we're going to go ahead and get all of our jars ready. So this is what the blackberries look like. Now I pulled them out of the freezer about a day ago, so they are partly thawed. But this is what they look like. The day I got all of these, I was so tired that I decided I'll just throw them in the freezer. And now today I can work on this. All right, since I doubled the recipe, I need to do 12 quarts of berries, which I have right here. All right, I'll show you what everything looks like when it gets ready. Doing is we're heating up the pie filling, and when it's good and boiled and all the sugar is cooked, then we will add our clear gel, and then we will just cook it until it gets thick. Then you add all of your berries at the end. So we will add these at the very end. That way we can try to keep them as whole as we possibly can. All right, and I'll see you in a little bit. Rims have been washed. Everything has been put in the jars. I want to show you 2 points. Your jars are going to look like this, okay? But when you can it, it's going to turn into this. So it's going to be really dark once you can it. It looks like this before you put it in the water bath. And then afterwards, it's going to look really dark like this. Second point is, make sure you leave a lot of head space, because when you're working with pie filling, the pie filling is going to thicken and it's going to expand as you can it. Most people, and even I, make this mistake that I fill them too full and then it flows out over. If you do this recipe and it flows out over, that is okay as long as your lid has sealed. Just wash them off really good so they don't get moldy on the outside. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put all of my lids on. And we're going to put this in the water bath canner, and we're going to can it for 25 minutes. Now I'm using my grandma's old canner. I cannot believe that it still holds water. But it does. All right. Let's scoop just a little bit of water out of there. You want to make sure you have enough of water that it covers the lids. All right. Once that boils, we count 25 minutes. And now on to the rest of my day. And now it's time to clean up. So big kettles like this, it's just impossible for me to clean in the house. So I take it out here and I clean it. What I notice now since I'm older is when it's days that aren't as hot, it's when I do a lot of work. And that way on the hot days, I don't have to do so much work because the heat really affects me being outside. There's nothing worse than having a hot flash when it's 100 degrees outside. I'm telling you, this works amazing. Absolutely amazing.